Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Super Dave here again with another Masterverse review, and we're looking at Wave 9, specifically the Revelation, yep, another Revelation Mer-Man, this time more of the classic look. Now, maybe this is before, Mattel figured out that this line was catching on. I'm not sure what their logistics were, but we have pretty much been able to get Revelation figures that had their Revelation appearance and their Classics appearance in one package, like Triclops and Trapjaw. But for some reason, this guy didn't get that treatment. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was in Wave 1, but I may be mistaken on that. But what I am getting at is they could have very easily packaged this same chest armor in, and pretty much we would have had him. And also the alternate head without the eye being scratched out, because in his later form, years later, Mer-Man doesn't have his armor. We'll take a look at him. But here he is, and there is that bookend, as well as his awesome artwork on the back, as well as the rest of Wave 9 here. We've got all of them up now on the channel, but we're going to be looking at all of them again here today, just to add some flair, because this guy is pretty much, here we go again kind of thing. But there is his bio, if you'd like to pause and read that now. All right, so let's go ahead and break him open. I'm going to go ahead and go back over here to the Fright Zone. I've got all of our Revelation / Masterverse / 40th anniversary figures / Deluxe figures / Mattel Creation exclusive like Darkland, all over here. Oh, and Scareglow, all over here waiting for us to let Mer-Man, Classics Style Mer-Man, join the fun. Let's go over there. And here we are inside of the Fright Zone itself, taking a look at, so far, just about all the villains that we have gotten, including Wave 9. We have Faker, Grizzlor back there, and here is the final one in Wave 9 from Masterverse, Mer-Man. Now, I've already reviewed Buzz-Off. I actually did him first, which is unusual. Usually I save the best for last. This time I did my favorite first thing and did my least favorite last, but there you go. I don't know what order you're watching them in, but here is our awesome looking Mer-Man, classic style. There's the one, the Revelation one that we got early on in the line, and didn't review him not too long ago because I had not gotten him, because I wasn't just that big of a fan of him, but I did get him and I did like him. You can check out my review on the Revelation Mer-Man. They're calling this one the Revelation Mer-Man because he did make a brief appearance in this form, I think at the very beginning of the series, Netflix series. But anyway, this is how we know him, basically, as far as his chest armor anyway. And then years later, his eye got poked out. He's been through a lot of battles, lost his chest armor. But there are some differences. Now, the Revelation one here came with this kind of sword, and I've just got it tacked on his back with some tacky there. Came with that's kind of, I don't know, piratey looking sword almost. Not sure what the name of it exactly is. But this time we actually get his classic style sword, which I really appreciate. Just look at the details on there. This is the sword that we are used to. And then he comes with 3 sets of hands. He's got balled up fisted hands. He's got 2 weapon holding hands and an open palm hand. And the alternates of these are equipped there. So those open palm webbed 4-fingered hands, and then the weapon holding. All these are horizontally hinged. Now, the core differences between these two figures is, of course, first of all, starting at the top, our Classics Mer-Man has both of his eyes, and the orange seems to be a little brighter around the eyes than on this one. And then moving on down, he has chest armor, which I love that translucent blue jewel in the middle of it. That's really nice, and it is translucent. and my black light is picking it up a little bit, so it's almost glowing a little bit, but it is translucent. And then looking over here, you notice that his chest has the scars. Well, this one does not have the scars, as you can tell, so that is a big difference. And moving on down, you see that his arms, the cuffs, the forearm cuffs are very different. They have this little flared out thing over the elbow, whereas this one has more of an orange and gold, and it does not come out as far right here. This one is gold all the way down to the hands. This one is gold all the way down to this point, and then you have green hands. Now, belt-wise, the belt is almost identical. The color of the little flared out part is just a little bit darker over here on this one, a little bit more gold, I mean, over here on this one, and this one's almost a little bit more orangish tone. And then there's a little bit of a highlight around the Masters of the Universe style belt there. Now, it's hard to tell in this light, but this is not just a darker orange, but this is a translucent orange material, almost like a seaweed, you know, style, coral, whatever, you know, see-through fleshy material. So that is neat. If you shine light through it, and I'll show you that in a minute, it is translucent, whereas this is solid. That's the reason it has that darker look. And then down here at the feet, they have the same feet, but their shin guards or boot guards there are very different. You almost have like the king of the sea looking things coming off the shin guards there, whereas over here you have the blue and some orangish trim along with the gold. And this, you pretty much just have the orange and gold trim. But, I mean, there's a lot of differences. And, of course, our Revelation Mer-Man actually came with this pitchfork trident-looking thing, which is neat. So you can alternate a lot of this stuff with either one. But, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see now why they wanted to do two separate figures. But there you have the overall reviews of these. Let's go ahead and take a look at them from the back now. And here you see them from the back. There is no place to store his sword on his giant big harness, and it has a real rubbery texture. I mean, that is a really nice chest armor around our new Mer-Man. It's just very excellent, very high quality, I would say. I mean, I mentioned it in the Faker review. I think their chest armors and their accessories are improving, as well as the action figures. And it is interesting to note, even though these guys have the exact articulation, the newer one does have that improved Wave 9 diaphragm turning ability that we've been mentioning, whereas this one did not have that. This one does, so that's interesting to note. And you see again, the outline around the belt is obvious, and that's missing here. And then to show you what I was talking about as far as that loincloth, so to speak, you can see that that is translucent. You see the light going through it there on the bottom. It goes right through there. Here you have all of our Mer-Man figures that I have. I do not have the Classics Mer-Man. I never was able to get a hold of that one. I did bid on him a few times on eBay, but didn't get him. But there you have the Classics Club Grayskull Filmation style, which is still one of my favorite interpretations of Mer-Man. But if you remember in the Classics and even in the vintage, Stinkor, I believe it was, and Mer-Man shared the same head. And you can see kind of where it's inspired the same, but the mouth and the eyes are different here in the Masterverse. There's Stinkor's head. You see kind of the hair or the ears are going upwards in a similar fashion, but it does kind of look like there's fur on this one and more of a scale look on this one. So yeah, I believe it's a totally different face sculpt, of course, but you can see they stayed true with the similarities, but it's not an exact carryover like I believe it was in vintage. And we got several head sculpts in Classics. I'm not really sure, but there we go with our Mer-Men, and they're looking cool. All right, now let's look at Wave 9 together. And here is Wave 9 all together. And I have to say, I think this is one of the best waves so far. I actually had a hard time figuring out which one I like the best. I still give the win to Buzz Off, just like I've heard many others saying. He was just very special. Just his look and his fun factor of his wings, the posability, the articulated claws, the fact that you can have, you know, the plain head sculpt like that. I've got two is the reason I have that head down there. And then you can put the helmet on as well. And then those cool looking, you know, eyes. Oh man, the translucent helmet. You know, and then you have Faker, who is just such a popular character, and they did us justice here with this head sculpt. I felt like I don't think anyone's going to be able to do a better job on a head sculpt than this. Really like that. I do kind of wish, as I said in my review, that they had gone with the orange, you know, chest armor. But overall, though, I love this. And then this is my all-time favorite Grizzlor. I was just not into the vintage look that carried over into the Classics look. I did like the Filmation Club Grayskull, as I mentioned in my review of him. But man, this one gave us a little bit of everything, and I really thought he was good. And then I did not have a Classics Mer-Man, so I needed that. Was not able to get a hold of him. He's always, you know, over $100 usually on eBay. And here we go, for basically $21, I was able to get a Classics looking Mer-Man with better articulation, with no pinholes, and with his classic, you know, looking sword. So I am very stoked over all four of these. I'm trying my best to get a hold of Clawful and Ram Man. They are hard to get a hold of right now, all my sources, but I'm seeing them pop up places as far as YouTube reviews. But as soon as I get them in hand, we'll be reviewing those, which are kind of part of this wave, I do believe, based on what we're seeing. But man, just excellent. I appreciate this wave and just look forward to this line continuing on and on and on. The Masterverse line rocks. I've got a review up on the Land Shark, which is an Origins vehicle, but I believe works well with the Masterverse figures. You can see him sitting down in there looking good, really cool. He may be a little big, but you know, this is just such an awesome vehicle that you know, I don't care if he's just a little bit big for him or the vehicle's a little small for him. Anyway, he's looking great. I just think that these action figures are just knocking out of the park. There's my two Mattel Creation exclusives where you can only get them basically on the Mattel site. Scare Glow is gone, but I think you can still get a hold of Evil Lynn or Dark Lynn, and I do have the hair down version of her head on there. That's not the head that she comes with. But anyway, you can check out my review there. But man, just enjoying, in the Shadow Weaver back there too. Oh man, just certainly enjoying all of these figures and looking forward to what's coming. Tell me what you think and who your favorite is. And again, like this video if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Our channel's growing, trying to get to 2,000. And of course, comment if you have something to share, and we'll talk with you next time. Be blessed and have a great day.